Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be doing today is looking at writing something that you would normally think of as like a bend remember drum loop. The first stage of this is to actually set my mixer up in a way that the routing is all done for me in a way that's familiar and gives me control later on in the mixing process of a drum loop, which we'll go into later. But I like having it all set up. As you'll see, I kind of mix as I go along. I'm not one of those people that waits until the end of the songwriting process to mix. I'll mix stage by stage by stage. So inside of a mixer, I'll open up, add group channel. I'll do it one by one for you. So this first group is going to be a drum bus. Cool. And then we're going to do a group, we're going to do another kick, clap, snare, hats, percussion, and that will probably do us for the second. We might add some more later if we're going to do some effects, but we'll leave it at that to start with. So kick bus. And finally a percussion bus. Cool, so that's the basic setup of where I start anything that I produce from the get-go. The way I build my drums, it's probably going to seem a little bit crazy. I use contact for everything, but I use a fresh contact for each one of these sounds, rather than using the routing in contact for every single thing. It gives me I just find it more organized, helps me out with how I see things, how I think about things. With the way I write the music. So open up just an instance of contact. And in fact, I'm just going to go straight ahead and open the kick one, the clap and snare one. I do those together quite often. Hats and percussion. Cool. So now we have these here, and on routing, we call this, I'll name everything as we go so we don't get lost. Percussion. Cool, I actually quite like to colour these as well, because when you get down to actually doing the arrangement of a track, it really does help you to have everything sort of visually, you've got the visual cues there so you know what's going on. When you're these weird arty people like me, you quite like to do these kind of things. Okay, cool, so now we can go straight in. So our first contact instance here, the red one, we know is our kick. I'm just going to draw a box, 2 bar, just loop that in there. Okay, so we know with relative certainty that we're going to be doing a 4/4 here, being house techno. So we can quite simply draw in 2, 3, 4. For bar 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, bar 2. Simple stuff. Open up our contact. Files. Right, cool. So in my sample library, I'll use various different things. I'll sample some people, nick bits in here and there, layer things. To start with this, I'll go to like a go-to sort of pack that I use. I use a lot of Wave Alchemy stuff. I do a bit of work for these guys as well. Their drum tools stuff is brilliant. It's really, really handy. They actually own lots of hardware and sample out lots of actual classic hardware drum samplers and stuff, so it's perfect.